Natasha. I nearly called you Honorable
Natasha, please, I am no Honorable Natasha.
Yeah.
So just stick with Natalia.
Yes,
okay.
please.
All right. So tell me, first of all, how are you doing?
I am doing well.
I think black suits you. Black is your color, isn't it?
It is, and I wear a lot of black.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of.
It kind of pops your skin tone, your skin color. It really pops. You're looking really good today.
Thank you.
You missed out on so much yesterday.
Yes, I knew that I missed out on. So you guys should have left cake for me.
Don't worry. We give out so much cake. It was so surprising. But don't worry. We'll do lunch today. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So tell us what is in the trends today.
Okay. Let me start with the least, I don't know what to say, one that won't get you so riled up, and then maybe we'll climb up and then we'll move on
to catch my breath.
The bigger one. So actually this is just current news. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has declared former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta as wanted, and I was watching the press. He had this press briefing a few minutes before I even came to the studio, and he was talking about the fact that I think that Ken Ofori-Atta's lawyers were asked to deal with him, and he said, well, we are not investigating your lawyers. Your lawyers have nothing to do with the Ministry of Finance. We want you, because I think that he is not in the country currently, and so he needs to come back so that investigations will continue. And the OSP, the SP, the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejaben, has said that he would begin investigations into the alleged corrupt activities. But it's just a bit some way, former finance minister being declared on national television as wanted. It's interesting, because I saw the press. I remember I walked into the reception, saw it on the screens, and then I thought, am I like reading it? Am I really?
Yeah. It's one of those things that you see and you take a second and third look to be absolutely sure that what you're seeing is actually what you're seeing.
What I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's one of those ones.
It was really some way seeing that over there, his picture there, the special prosecutor addressing the media and talking about the fact that, they are doing some investigations, they've seen certain things. And, it's the whole Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta thing has been quite. I remember when, his own people had to petition the president, even at a point, to have him step down as finance minister. His tenure was, well.
I know.
So finance minister, and then so yesterday I met with a friend in a restaurant somewhere. He owns the place actually. And then
that's why you left us.
Yes, that's why I left you.
Okay.
Because we had to discuss some very serious.
Okay.
Serious.
Don't go any further. It's okay.
It's the way you're looking at me. That's why.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they turned off the lights. Was doing so, and he had to now go and get like his plants working and blah blah blah. And then he already started complaining about how it's Mahama again. We don't want any Doomsor issue and stuff like that, because he's already been associated with Doomsor in his past administration. So hopefully it doesn't escalate and become worse, because people won't have it at all.
No, they won't.
So Doomsor is also trending. And then let's talk about Honorable Natasha.
Oh boy.
I wish we could listen to the audio from Tubaba.
Yes, we can, MJ, right? Yes, we can. We can. So we woke up to this.
Yes.
So this is the audio we woke up to. Okay, let's just take a listen. In fact, we could have just done the video and just had it shown on social media as well. But let's just take a listen.
Starr 103.5 FM.
Hey, my people, what's up, man? So allegedly, I've been seeing so many things, so many people coming up with their own false narratives and false talk and malicious nonsense after I posted that stuff that I posted. Yes, I posted what I posted, and any person will get brave, they understand, But for all of the people that have been saying different stuff that do not have any absolute clue of what's going on. I hell in my life, perfect guy. Not too much. You understand? See, everybody's gonna be alright, everybody's fine. There's no fights, there's no quarrel, there's nothing. I said what I said. All of us will be alright. And all of us are working to do bigger and better things. You understand what I'm saying? And Honorable Natasha, I see she has been dragged, she has been called all sorts of names, she has been labeled as a homebreaker, she is a young, brilliant, amazing young woman. You understand what I'm saying? And she had nothing to do with, you know, what's happening between me and Annie in our marriage. You know, she has absolutely nothing to do with that. But I see everybody allegedly trying to, you know, rope her into everything. Yes, I love her. She's amazing. She's cool. You know, I want to marry her. You understand what I'm saying? So that on one side. Then on the other side, man, me and Annie, we know the fights, we know the quarrel. You know, we have a good understanding of ourselves and what's going on. So allegedly, everybody that has been saying stuff allegedly, keep alleging. We shall continue to be alleged. You understand what I'm saying? So thank you very much. Move on with your perfect lives. Now we carry and come there. So I understand what's going to happen as I carry and come there. I put that was my business. Yeah, so you are allowed to interfere and say what you feel like. But please, when you want to allege, make sure you know what you are alleging. And I'm also going to ask, in fact, I go ask Congress. We have to do something about this alleging. You understand? Everybody's hiding behind allege. To just say anything they want to say. Causing heartache, embarrassing people up and down. And you know, say more people will ever leave, they follow alleged. So we need to do something about this alleged. If you don't know something, you talk. No even coach person. Make them only the person will talk. You understand? So with this few points of mine, thank you very much. I don't bring that come again. I don't give enough food again. We could have continued to the allege. We will meet for somewhere. No problem. Thank you very much.
The Zone.
All right, so there you have it. When you allege, make sure you know what you are alleging.
Please, I just learned a new word today. Allegedly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that is to face a DBS voice.
But is it, this is a lot. Like everything that he said, you know, in one part is incomprehensible.
Yes.
Like I'm struggling to see the direction of this video and everything he said in it. And then another part is just, for me, very disrespectful.
Yes.
And then another part, obviously, is just to praise Honorable Natasha.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in, right?
Yes.
It's overwhelming. It's a very overwhelming piece of video to.
He could have just stuck with one direction, and then we know what he's talking about. But this
is a lot to take in.
Yeah, but I think that maybe he's doing it to protect Honorable Natasha, you know, because he kept saying allegedly that it's alleged and something is alleged here and something is alleged here. And it's very interesting how, you know, we always get the information too before, because Nigerians were already talking about a certain lady, even while, you know, the whole divorce thing with Annie Dibia was ongoing. You know, there was this lady that was in the picture, blah, blah, blah. And then when I saw it, I thought, oh, you know, it can't be, because this is fresh. This is something that, you know, would simmer for a while before, even if he decides to look elsewhere and even introduce that person to the public. I felt that it would take a bit of, you know, some time. But then I'm here. I actually saw it when I was in the studio this morning. When I was coming home, it wasn't even in the trends. And then I got here and then I started checking and I was like, this is interesting. I thought it was a lie, you know, all those funny stuff people post on social media. And then I went to listen to the video and I was shocked. Also because I didn't think it was a necessary piece of information at all. I didn't think that we needed to know Honorable Natasha and know her involvement with a man who is already going through so much drama with his wife, who is popular, and his 7 kids and so many issues. It was not, and I don't even know, did she give her consent? You know, like Honorable Natasha.
I'm sure. I mean, obviously, it looks like they have something going. So
I mean, he wants to marry her. So
I think this video is confirmation.
Yes.
That there is actually something going on with him and Honorable Natasha, which will actually do more harm than good.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes.
Because now people will actually have the armor to go for her proper. Because before it was just alleged, an allegation. It was allegedly. Oh my God! I think did he just stumble upon that word?
I don't know, probably.
Because he's used it and used it and used it.
Even when he doesn't need to use it. But
Yeah, it's also, one actress whose interview I chanced upon, and she spoke for 2 minutes and said apparently like 20 times.
yeah.
And
It's a word that people use
It
a
took
lot,
me-
that
it
apparently,
took- yeah.
apparently,
Because it's
and
like, for instance,
like.
so for instance, if you asked me, what did you have for breakfast? And my answer to you is, apparently I ate wache. I'm like,
Hey,
"Ma-
hey.
no, but that's what people do though. You haven't heard that?
No, I haven't.
Boy. And yeah. But you see, at the end of the day, sometimes I say to myself that it's good when you speak good English, when you use grammar correctly. But nobody pays you for that anyway. So if people choose to apparent their way through life
And
or allege their way through life, it's like, who really cares?
really cares?
Because the people who are not, you don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
Whether you speak well, you don't speak well, nobody really cares, So you just do as you please,
Yeah.
man. No,
Do
there are
as
no
you please.
points given for
Good English.
for good English.
I think someone tried to correct a billionaire's daughter online one time ago. I think it was Otedolas' daughter, DJ
Yeah.
Kabi, and then another user responded and said, "All the English you know."
Where has it gotten you though?
All the English you know, but
Where has
sometimes
it
it
gotten
depends
you?
on where you find yourself and what space you find yourself in. You can ignore that in certain instances, but if you are working somewhere, you need to address people, and that is the language you need to speak. And then your tenses are left and right, your grammar is up and down.
Salad.
Will be interesting. But
tossing.
Two-Face, good for you. It seems he's very happy. He says that there is no fight, there are no arguments. He and Annie are fine. She understands everything. Everything is going on well. I guess Honorable Natasha is also fine, with everything. And I don't know whether Annie would ever publicly speak about this. Like, I don't know if, because this would be his like second or third video, ever since the whole divorce stuff started. When he said it initially, then came to do a whole video talking about the fact that, he said what he said and he did what he did. And that, yes, they've been separated. A lot of fire, a lot of backlash. We didn't hear Annie at the time. And now this. So I don't know if Annie would ever speak. And if she does, I
What will
will
she say?
really be interested in what she will say.
There's a thing that I've always believed, right? I think that especially when it comes to intimate relationships, things that happen between two people, there's always each person's side to the story.
Yes.
So it's not up to me to tell a story about something that happened between myself and another person,
Yes.
right? That's always been my thing.
Yeah.
So as bad as it gets, or as whatever as it is, I mean, I can tell you that, Etornam and I, we falling out. And I think that's enough information.
Yes.
I think that's just enough
Yes,
information. But the
yes.
details of how we fell
Yes.
out or who did what,
Yeah.
and I think it's so unimportant. And also because when you start giving that information, you're putting the person out there.
Yeah.
And they may not want that. Unless, of course, the two parties involved have come to a decision that we don't mind sharing the details of our story. Then each person can have a go.
Yeah.
But if that's not the case, and I've dated Master J for, 2 years, and we're no longer dating, and I decide that independently, I want to come and talk about how he snores in his sleep, and he's always farting in his sleep and everything. He says, be careful. It's like, that is not my information to give, because that's another person I'm putting out there. And I find that as so wrong. You're no longer with someone, you're no longer with them.
Yes.
For the most part, depending on the dynamic. Sometimes you just don't want, for one of the things that really stress me is if I'm no longer associated with someone and I have a lot of people coming at me always asking, oh, where is this person? Where is this person?
Yes,
It really stresses me. I don't like it. So I always want people to know that, like, I literally will do whatever I can to let everybody know that I'm no longer associated with this person. If you have questions about him or her, find other means. Don't come to me. Because that whole situation stresses me. But outside of that information, I'll give you that. Don't come to me asking for Etornam. I can't give anything more.
Yes.
I can't say what has happened or what didn't happen. If you are walking in the streets and you hear something, good for you.
Exactly.
But it will not come from me.
And they are not even owed that explanation. You don't owe.
No, you
anyone.
do not.
Exactly.
You do
don't owe
not.
anyone that
At the end of the day, it's like when people quit their jobs, you know,
Yeah.
you give information, I no longer work here. I think that's as good as it gets. It's not now that you're coming to break it down. And when I used to work there, we had Etornam crash, she wasn't greeting me. And Patrick was eating my wache when I brought wache to the office. And this person was doing like this, and that person was doing like that. It's like, I don't know, but I find that so unfair.
Yeah, but some people too say that they need to get it out, and so they would have
Go to therapy.
talk about it.
Yeah,
and
go
keep
to
talking
therapy,
about it.
please.
Because at a point, sometimes those kinds of conversations and stuff like that, they now feel like an attack on the other person because you are speaking from your experience. Now, the person listening doesn't have the chance to talk to the other person, may not always have the
Yes,
chance to talk to the other
yes.
person. So whatever it is you are feeding that individual, it would look like, oh, you know, this person is ABC, and they
Yeah.
might not be that. That
Yeah.
is just your perspective,
Yeah.
and that is your experience
Yeah.
with them. So, yeah, it's quite unfortunate, but that is it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly do this as well. So, WordOut is a dynamic musician and devoted Christian who has recently been signed to Global Sounds Entertainment, a US-based record label. So he is set to release his debut single, Aseda, on February 14th across all streaming platforms. Aseda. So while you are enjoying your Valentine's Day and you are falling in love and everything, you'll be thanking God to double
We
blessings.
thank God.
Word out and get ready to groove because Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Omizzy has dropped the remix or will drop the remix of his hit track Down Foot Driver featuring Zlatan. So watch out for that and also stream on all major music platforms. You can follow both of them on their social media platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, and more. So yeah, that is it for our trends today and for every other thing.
Right. Okay. So quickly, we're going to play some music, and
Okay.
then we're also going to take a look at Mr. Drew and something about him. But Councillor Charlotte Odro, is it? Also came
Yeah.
under a lot of attack because her husband came to put out a release of some sort.
Yeah.
Wrote a whole whatever. To who, I really don't know. And said,
Addressing the public.
addressing the public to whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern.
And and you know, a lot the
It's
woman
becoming a trend though.
the
all
woman
this,
came under attack. Let me tell you.
putting out because I didn't used to think
You
that
didn't
know,
used to
when
think
you're
that. I didn't
getting-
used to think that as well. I always said to myself that if you're no longer with someone, we don't need to know it's your business,
Exactly.
you know. However, I myself came to a place at a point where I saw the need to put information out that I'm no longer married.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were coming to me talking about things that had to do with my partner that I no longer was with, you know, and it became so troubling to me because it was like on a daily basis, people are coming to me, calling me this and that, you know, questions and all of that, and it was overwhelming.
Okay.
So I just wanted a means to put out publicly that I'm no longer with this person. I had to make a statement that I'm no longer married to this person,
Okay.
just so people would just leave me alone. Do you understand? And after I did that, I realized that, I mean, for the most part, you don't even know, what goes on when people are together. Sometimes they may have businesses together. Sometimes they may have things together, this and that, and everything is so intertwined. And sometimes you just want some level of information out so that certain people will know how to deal with certain things. Because imagine if maybe you have business together or whatever, and maybe, I don't know, part of the business requires that people deal with you or deal with her or whatever, and people may not even know the fact that you guys are no longer together. I mean, there are so many dynamics. So I really wouldn't know why anybody would put it that out that this is what's happening. However, I say, listen, to each their own. If you think it serves a good purpose for you and what you do, that's fine. But let's keep it at, Etornam and I are no longer married. Full stop. I think that should be enough. The explanations and the details is what overwhelms me. Also because I feel like then now you're pushing the other person under the bus. And then that for me is like a little over the top. Let's keep it at we are no longer, so that for anyone that associates with you, or so, like, people have that information, they will know how to relate to either of you. And that's enough. Right, that's enough. But the whole, because I saw his thing, he wrote a whole, I think it was like 5 paragraphs. And I couldn't even finish it. I was overwhelmed, and people on social media won't let the woman breathe. Kind of made me feel really sorry, because divorce on its own is a big deal. When you're going through divorce, it's not the easiest place to be. And then people are being so unkind to her and bringing videos from her past and this and that, almost as if she was immune to divorce, and suddenly because she's divorced, is like, people won't have it.
Well, I am no advocate for bullying and stuff like that, but I also think that sometimes when people decide to be some advisor or counselor or all of that, you should do it within a certain scope that allows you to also understand and accept that people are different, circumstances are different, situations are different. There are certain people who had a problem and have a problem with her and attacking her because there was a certain condescendence, according to them, with the way she gave out her advice on marriage and stuff like that. I have heard someone, on air, not like on air, but like a popular person one time talk about the fact that she was being literally beaten up and everything, but she was still holding on to the ring. Sometimes people really do all they can to sustain whatever it is that they have with the other person. And so if you're going to advise women, men, whatever it is, on how to keep their marriages and all of that, you need to do it with a certain grace for those who are not able to keep it together as well. But at a point, it was almost feeling like, for some people, as though, because I didn't do A, B, C, so you're trying to tell me because I do E, F, G, H. And for more women, I think it was all there. She basically sometimes made them think it is your responsibility, your total responsibility, forgetting that sometimes you may have really covered everything that you could cover. You could have done everything that you possibly could do, and it still falls. So I don't think that it's fair that she's being attacked left, right, center, but I think that it's also some form of caution to people who decide to speak on very sensitive matters and topics like marriage, to have certain room and let people breathe and not make it so I know that 1 + 1 is always 2, and no matter what, if you're adding 1 + 1, it should always be 2, because situations are peculiar, marriages are different, relationships are different. And so when something like this now happens to you, and it doesn't have to even be your marriage falling, but you can't know it all and you can't have it all, essentially. So sometimes people should be circumspect about it. Let us know that maybe this is your idea of how things should work, but don't set it as a rule and make it look as though it's supposed to be like this. Because someone was talking to me yesterday about this same issue, and she was talking about how, there were certain times she listened to her and some other stuff, and she felt like, okay, so is it because I didn't do this, I didn't do that? And at the end of the day, something unfortunate happens to you as well, and people can't be civilized because they feel like they should dish out, something similar to what you had been dishing out the entire time.
Oh, but I feel so sorry for her. Yeah. And I think that we live and we learn, don't we? Yeah. We live and we learn.
Life is meant to be lived.
Yes,
we don't come with a manual.
Also because we evolve.
Yes.
Look, things I believed 10 years ago, things that 10 years ago I was so sure, I was absolutely certain of my stance. And I would, I would say never to this. Like I was so set.
Yeah.
But today, that same conversation comes up and I won't even have it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we evolve as humans. In the next 10 years,